over, I'd like to return to the classics.
Uno, two, tres, four.
Yeah. Gooey. Yeah. Cause I'm bloody. I am I am a creature hybrid that comes from a demon-like species that has a little bit of reptilian DNA. What is that? Yeah, it's basically like zero. It's basically like, yeah, it's basically like 02. How she has a little bit of dinosaur DNA. 02 from Darling in the Franxx. Apparently she is, but she also has like a little bit of no, not reptile, dinosaur DNA, and that's why they kept. There's a lot of memes of her calling her a Dino Girl or Dino Waifu or some shit like that. Yeah. Oh, dude, I used to fuck with that anime back in my high school days. based. Oh yeah, give it to me. Squid Game. Squid Game. Oh yeah. Let me see those. Let me see those flat-chested, and the because flat is justice. Yeah. Yeah. But I hope it's gotta be like the ones from the anime culture and not like the uglier ones. Yeah. Or whatever, like I wouldn't want to say DEI because it sounds like it's overused or some shit like that. Yeah. 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 Oh yeah, it definitely was. But if that comes to reality, hell yes. Hell yes. Really? Uh, yeah. Nah. Yeah, I'm like, nah, like employ femboys or employ flat-chested girls. Because yeah, because oh fucking shit. Because of course it's fucking because it's fucking France. It's fucking France. Exactly. Yeah. Not only that, but I always keep reminding myself that France is the country that brought you cuties. Ugh. I'm pretty sure it was like for only like 7 or 8 minutes.
No. I've been muted this whole time, I think. Okay, I'm going. Okay, so wow. Okay, thank you so much for telling us, Miss Monkey. This is why I like having people here to like let me know this shit, because sometimes I don't catch it. I don't know how long I've been muted for, but apparently my shit swapped to default.
No, don't worry, Dula. It's still the beginning, so.
Still, I want to like just kind of reiterate what we've talked about already. Essentially, just some funny stuff before we get into the more serious stuff. GTA 6, apparently they're gonna have femboy strip clubs. This is purely a meme, but people still fucking lost the Bavaria shit or like got really happy. I looked into it. It's nothing like that.
Yeah.
They're just being more diverse, and they're gonna pull back from the LGBT jokes and stuff from their overall stuff, which then led us to talking about what the fuck. Hooters, and how they're changing their uniforms and stuff to kind of meet more modern styles than that of like the old sportswear and stuff, which then led me to talking about the fact that like, because you brought up like bring up fanboy Hooters, I'm like, people already tried something like that, it closed down. Now there are Gooey looked like he was having a mental breakdown because he was talking to himself. But yeah, well, I mean, if you do want like a femboy-esque aesthetic, they're all like cross-dressing cafes in Japan. Yeah,
yes.
Japan has like cross-dressing cafes and also cosplay cross-dressing cafes, and they do have some cafes where the actual.
But just give me the Otokonoko, please.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There are some cafes in Japan that are basically like the entire employees are Otokonokos.
Yeah.
Which is really cute, but I believe these are mostly just in the more higher populated metropolitan places in Japan, of course, like Akumaniku, probably Tokyo City, all that stuff. I doubt you'd probably go to somewhere like Osaka and you see like a fucking femboy cafe like just pop up overnight.
I just need to see those flat chests.
I need to see those flat chests with little cones poking out.
Yes, I love that shit.
But anyways, so
because I'm a bi man, so I like things feminine.
Oh my god. Anyways, so kind of going back, so that was that thing. Another funny thing that happened is this actually involving My Hero again. I thought we were done talking about My Hero, but apparently since the anime just ended, we had this happen. My Hero Academia ending confirmed Deku and Ochako as canon, but not everyone's celebrating. A lot of fans have grown attached to the other ships over the years. Of course they have, especially queer pairings like oh my god, queer pairings like Ochako and Toga, or even Deku and Bakugo, which built a huge following in fandom. Again, it did. That doesn't mean it should be or should ever have been canon. Even if the author for a minute thought about it, it should leave your mind. Don't allow fans to sway you to such an extent where you willingly change a character's sexuality midpoint of the series because to fit the needs of fans. For some, the final couple. What's up?
I don't know why they always saw Bakugan and Deku as a couple, since they always felt like they were brothers. Well,
so the reason why, and this is my reasoning why people immediately started attaching those two. It wasn't just because they were rivals. It wasn't just because we actually saw their relationship grow, like from being like Bakugo being like a bully to Deku to the point where like literally he tells him to kill himself and stuff like that. But it's because that natural aggression and chemistry that they had with each other, and the fact that you had Deku constantly like not only compare himself but pit himself against Bakugo as like this ideal person he wants to not only become but overcome in that same sense. When you see such a strong relationship be built up for a story, immediately people are like, that's what I want for a sex couple. That's what I want for a gay couple. That's what I want for it's purely because these two characters are so written
brotherly.
Not just brotherly, but like it's like if you take any two characters, right? Like it's that joke from literally Community where I forget the actor's name, but he takes the pictures like human beings can attach themselves to anything. Yeah. Look, I have this pencil. I'm naming it Jeff, and he snaps it in half. I just killed Jeff, and like someone goes like, "Oh, I like Jeff." It's that joke. Human beings.
Isn't that like a similar scenario case with Lord of the Rings with one of the characters?
Oh yeah, Frodo and Sam. Like people immediately thought because of how like how emotional a lot of the moments became with those two characters throughout their journey. Like it wasn't the fact that these two literally went through hell and high water to get to Mordor together, actually had like confrontations between each other, and the fact that Frodo was being manipulated by Smeagol aka Gollum. It wasn't the fact that literally Sam came back to save him and was the whole reason why the fact that they were able to like continue on further. Because Sam being such a strong-willed character to help out his friend, it wasn't any of that. It's because literally now we want them to be gay.
No, yeah, they're literally not a couple. They're just friends. They're just like really great friends.
At this point, you would consider them family. Like the shit they went through is like so unbelievable. Like literally that ending of fucking that ending of the when they finally get back to the Shire and they're just kind of like sitting down having a pint as together inside the fucking bar and literally everyone's celebrating while these four who literally went through such fucking crazy catastrophe, almost nearly word-ending shit, are just staring at each other having a drink. Like they're not even talking, they're not even smiling, they're not even cheering, they're just having a small somber drink, and it's surreal. You understand in that moment, they not only understand what was almost lost, but they understand what they themselves have lost at this point in time, that like they went through so much together that like what else can really go for what else can they do going forward. And then that's when Sam takes up the courage to go ask out the girl he liked. Again, it's literally if a character has any strong chemistry nowadays, it's not about you're my brother, bro, or like man, you're my best friend, man. Nah, it's like I'm gonna fuck you later. That's how people see it. You can't have a bromance and you can't have a girlmance anymore. It can only be either they fucking hate each other or they secretly want to fuck. That's how it is with some people. They literally become so attached to the idea.
It's literally the Tumblr tard mindset, essentially.
But yeah, so like for some the final couple feels expected. Of course, it feels expected from get go. She was being portrayed as someone Deku liked. He saw a pretty face. She helped him out from like falling, and he's like, "Oh, what a kind girl. She's really pretty. She's really cute. I like her." From get, it was either like, okay, so either A, he's gonna get with her, or B, because she's like putting away her feelings, maybe she won't actually ever get with him. We don't know, but that's the extent of what we thought was gonna happen. Others are happy to see the story stick with a long teased romance. I don't really agree there. Either way, the reactions say it all. Fans are just debating about the ending. They're debating about what could have been. No, this never could have been. Anyways, the reason why they bring it up is because this person's comment, Kozu, says, Chaco is canonically lesbian, and Deku is gay. But yeah, let's pretend that this isn't the most forced relationship in all of anime. I love the fucking Jujutsu Kaisen meme. I love this meme so much. Izuku Chaco shippers, normal people who are glad Deku is no longer cucked. Baku Deku and the Chaco shippers.
Yeah.
I love that meme so much with Jujutsu Kaisen. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. The fact that people out of nowhere.
I just don't understand how people are just like acting and having like a meltdown since the fucking manga already ended.
It doesn't matter. Like, you have to remember, if something becomes popular, right? If something becomes popular, if there is ever, I can't really say now. If something becomes popular, if there's a slight, and I mean slight hint of anything relating to a character being like close to or friendly towards the same sex person, people are immediately gonna be like, they're gay.
Yeah, but at the same time, the anime is like mostly based off the manga straight up.
Well, yeah, but that's because the creator was heavily involved. But again, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter what the intention of the author or the creator or the director is. People are going to make up their own headcanon and make it so in their own head. And if you don't actually do what they want you to do, they will flame you online.
Yeah.
I just thought this was funny to kind of look back on, too.
Of course, they always have that Tumblr mindset.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is where these people come from. This is the typical person who, like, again, there's nothing wrong with you shipping people. There's nothing wrong with you creating, fan fiction in your head.
Yeah.
All this stuff is fine and perfect for community.
It's nothing wrong with it. It's just that, in my opinion, it's just fucking cringe when you like to be too open about it.
I don't even care if someone's open about it. If, like, literally, like, you're online, right?
But, like, if it, but if it, like, makes it, like, your entire identity.
Well, yeah, I think if you make anything your entire identity at that point, it's kind of cringe. But like what I'm saying is, well, I guess so long as you make it your identity, but you keep it solemn, locked into who you are, like at home. Like let's say someone is like so
No,
much
like,
in love with
just
Superman
make-
that they wear like a Superman costume immediately when they get home, like they change into it. Their PJs are Superman drawers and everything, all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
but they only keep it at
They-
their house.
Yeah, or your friend group. At least do it like in your friend group and not like
A furry. That's right.
publicly.
Like I don't need to know that you're a furry, but if you go home and you immediately put on your fursuit, it's like, oh, I fucking got tired of these clothes, and you just rip everything off and you put on your fursuit. The fuck do I care?
Yeah. But then again, why the hell would anybody rip out their fursuit since those things are expensive? as
No.
fucking
They
hell,
rip
like,
off their
seriously.
other clothes, their normal clothes. Like they go to work or they go to school, and the moment their feet touch the inside of their home, they close the door and they just rip off their clothes like Bruce Almighty in that scene where he's about to fuck Jennifer Aniston. He's like, ah! You know what scene?
Yeah.
You saw Bruce Almighty, right?
Bruce Almighty?
Bruce Almighty, the film with Jim Carrey.
I don't think so.
You never saw Bruce Almighty?
I don't think so. I mean, I've seen a lot of Jim Carrey films, but
It's made by Happy Madison Production. It's got what the fuck's his name? Oh my god, the guy from The Office.
What year did it came out?
2002, 2001.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say I'm not familiar with Jim Carrey's
Bruce
later films. I'm only familiar with the ones from the '90s, like Ace Ventura.
2003,
The Mask.
it came out. Yeah, you got quite a bit of actors here. You got fucking like Jim Carrey, Morgan Freeman, Jennifer Aniston, Philip Blake Hall. Forgetting
Yeah, I
his
never
name.
got a chance to watch that. I heard of it.
It's
but I never
pretty
got-
funny. It's Jim Carrey like just kind of being himself, but I feel like the actual messaging is a bit stronger than some of his other films. I would recommend
Not
watching it.
gonna lie-
Huh?
Not gonna lie, not gonna lie, but for Jim Carrey's film, Ace Ventura, I really.
Everybody
It was
loves
really
Ace
funny.
Ventura 2. Everybody loves Ace Ventura.
No.
People don't even remember
No.
Ace Ventura 1.
Yeah, but I always loved the appearance of Cannibal Corpse
Gotcha.
in that film, and it makes sense because Jim Carrey in real life he is quite the metalhead. Like,
Oh, is he?
He
I
was
had
the
no
one-
idea. I
Yeah.
know Jim Carrey is like always in real life, but like people think he's actually a very eccentric man, but he's like he does that purely for the cameras. He's kind of a really solemn, like calm dude apparently.
yeah, actually, fun fact for Ace Ventura, Jim Carrey actually wanted Napalm Death to be in Ace Ventura, but they declined. So they were like, "Fuck it, let's choose Cannibal Corpse," and all the band members knew who Jim Carrey was. and
Gotcha. So
decided
they were
to
like on board.
Yeah, they were like immediately on board with that because they already knew who Jim Carrey was. And
Gotcha.
they knew
Okay,
he was a
that's
funny
cool.
man. Yeah.
God. So there's like one more thing I really want to show. It's just kind of like It's funny, but it's like to me. Cause so it's basically like this guy named Kang Min Lee says what conservatives get wrong about anime,
Oh no.
and it's a small quick clip right here on X. Let's play it.
Here's the thing that a lot of right-wingers still need to understand about anime, is that it is not a genre, it's a medium, right? So within anime, you're gonna have
And okay, and immediately I'm like, yeah, he's correct about that. It is a medium. It is not a genre.
fantasy, you're gonna have sci-fi, you're gonna have horror, you're gonna have more inappropriate things. But I think conservatives and right-wingers, they need to understand why everyone likes anime so much these days. Not all anime is good. There's some anime that sucks. But a lot of anime, especially the best ones, have tales of heroism, of courage, of virtue, of honor, of loyalty, and all these things that are so near and dear to every single one of us, because these are virtues that, you know, as Christian, I believe that the law of God is written on our hearts. And then so these themes of loyalty, of honor, of virtue, of courage, all these things are things that really motivate and galvanize us. And so they're one of my favorite animes. This is really popular these days, called Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. And there's a character in it called Himmel the Hero. He is such a great character. It's not like one of those things where it's like moral ambiguity. He is someone who wants to help people, and he's a funny guy while he does it. But his character literally has real world impact, where there are people who put out mall fires, who stopped stabbings on subways because they were motivated by Himmel the hero. And when asked why they did what they did, they quote characters in the anime saying, "This is what Himmel the hero would do."
So the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because I agree a lot of what he's trying to say. The problem is it's from the perspective of saying conservatives don't get anime. I'm like, I see why you say conservatives. I do. Because many people still attribute conservatism with a strong Judeo-Christian value and the values of the Christian and others. Look at things like anime.
But then again, in my opinion, I don't think religion should be really used a lot of times because there's a reason why you get the other side of the people, like the shittier people.
Well, the problem is like,
on you. They'll use it as like a strong counter argument for that.
Well, the reason why is because many people like abide their ideology with religion because they believe human beings have the morals they do because of God. Like we derive our morals from God. So you can't really say like.
Yeah, like in my opinion, I may be an atheist and I may not be religious, but at the same time, you can understand what you're trying to say. Like if you take the God part or the religion part, it's completely understandable and justifiable. You know what I mean?
Kind of. What I'm saying is the reason why I brought this up is an argument, because like, and not even an argument, but like what he was saying there is, I hear what he's saying. My biggest problem is the fact that lately I've been seeing more and more people in the opposite side of the ideology kind of come at anime and the actual culture of Japanese culture harder than any Christian conservative I've seen in like the past decade. Like, of course, you still have some like very like old like. Maybe you should retire, conservative, like lawmaker or governor
like
or something.
Or people like Matt Walsh who gave that horrendous ass take.
I think I made a comment on that, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Right, I think we actually covered it. Yeah, I remember reading it here. Yeah, like I thought it was just like completely stupid. The fact that like what he said, it was literally drowned in such pure entitlement to what he truly believed what American culture should be. And I'm like, you don't know what American culture is currently. You just don't. The reason being is because you are so out of the loop in actual current deism of like what people...
He's basically a millennial who's a recycled boomer, basically.
Kind of, but like my biggest problem with that whole topic is the fact that like he immediately shut out the very concept of anime having any cultural impact on America. And while he is correct, it doesn't have a strong cultural impact on America and how we do things or how we operate as people. Anime still has a huge cultural impact on our youth and the people who observe it, on our media. There are so many people here in America, like that are actually working in the industries of like Disney, of Fox, well, what Fox used to be, Cartoon Network, Warner Brothers, all that stuff, that draw inspiration both from its stories and character designs from anime now. Like, I did a video on this a while back talking about how, like, anime has reshaped the very foundations of how we actually do our own Western styles. We still have our own unique styles of designing characters. The problem is they are basically butchered versions of anime characters at this point. They have the big white eyes. They have the big round heads. All the characters are designed almost similarly. It's almost hard to tell them apart sometimes. And I've actually hate the fact that we've lost our own ways of drawing characters nowadays. Like the last interesting designs I've saw come from the West in terms of like a show that didn't look like it was heavily referenced or at least mimicking anime probably was Regular Show Adventure Time.
Oh, Regular Show was my fucking shit.
Oh, Regular Show was the shit. It's great.
Not only that, but it literally played a role in my development because not only I grew up with a lot of old stuff too, but Regular Show used to reference a lot of that old stuff that I was into, especially from the 1980s decade too. Like, which is fun fact, I actually, when I was, because I used to watch a lot of AVGN, and I actually remember watching this movie called The Wizard, and then...
The Wizard, that sounds so familiar.
Oh,
wait, The Wizard about a kid that has like essentially a form of autism who like competes in like video games at like California and shit.
That one.
Yeah.
Yes, that one.
And he keeps saying California.
Yeah, and then I remember when the episode of when that specific episode of Regular Show aired.
Yeah, they referenced the Wizard, right?
And I was like, oh my god, they're referencing the Wizard?
No, JJ Cortell loves referencing 80s and 90s shit all the time. Like if you
Or
like how all the video games they
70s
play.
in 70s too. He likes referencing a lot of 70s stuff.
Well, yeah,
too.
he likes referencing the old decades that he probably grew up along the most around as. Like
Yeah.
all the music, all the actual retro style designs of
Yeah.
even like the cars.
Yeah, not only that, but a lot of hair metal bands were playing too, like Poison and Motley Crue.
Well, again, because he drew in a lot of inspiration from his own like upbringing when he was growing up into his show.
Yeah.
Like even if you look back, some like he reused some of the assets he created from previous like shorts and student films he did for his college years into a regular show. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard of 2 a.m. p.m. where literally it's two guys working at a gas station late at night and they drop acid and they start losing their shit.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
you
yeah,
have the
fun
strange man
fact.
from Lollipop Land.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fun fact. Actually, from what I've heard, JT Quintel's inspiration for Mortal Kombat Break Me and regular show as a whole was from the game Toe Jam and Earl on the Sega Genesis.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
You know, I can kind of see it, but like, holy shit, dude, that's a game I have not heard referenced in years.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be like a buddy duo. Because Toe Jam and Earl is like a buddy duo.
Yeah.
It's always
But-
like the classic cartoon trope of a buddy duo, like Beavis
So-
and Butthead
so Doodle,
and Ren and Stimpy.
so Brutal, I gotta ask you seriously. We have two big topics tonight. Now I'm gonna let you decide which one you want to hit up first. We have a localizer drama with a game that's gonna pivot into a long discussion about localizers and my perspectives on and basically the history of this guy, or we have a new allegation that came out fresh from a studio in Europe.
I don't know about that, hun.
What do you mean?
I don't know, Dula. I don't know. It's kind of hard.
Just pick one. Just pick one. Which one do you want to hear? Which one do you want to start off with?
I think we should start out with the localizer since we've been talking about that one a
Okay.
lot.
Okay. So we'll do localizer then. Okay. So this is gonna be. I'm gonna lead you down a rabbit hole. Okay. So as I usually do, I'm gonna lead you down a rabbit hole in YouTube chat. So a game came out for Steam called UU Syndrome. This game was. I wouldn't say it's like
Yes, I
was
have.
really looked at, but I kept hearing like specific people, of course, and like the anime community talk about it because of its I really like the sharp designs of the hair. I really love the art style. Like this art style is super adorable, super cute.
Yeah,
I love the sharp edges and the
that-
character designs.
It's the usual art style that a lot of independent Japanese artists.
I don't play a lot of rhythm games. The most I've ever played was like
Oh yeah, I do play a decent amount of rhythm.
I used to. I
Not
mean, I
everything,
like playing
but
Friday Night Funk well enough, but that was like back then. I don't play it as much these days.
2020.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Pandemic.
so of course, after this game's like big release, what they wanted to do was have the game localized for so many different like languages and countries. One, of course, being which here in America. However, something came about it. Funny enough, was the fact that when you got to America, as Permaband kind of showcases here, be Japanese rhythm game UU Syndrome. Western localizers commit their usual vandalism the English release. Japan players and those who understand Japanese and know the original words see the blatant vandalism. Massive player backlash. You devs address the issue, fix the botched translations. Players dig through the images, credits, and find localizer team discovered. So before we get into any further, essentially, these guys hired a American, I say American. The guy is American, but his company is worked out of Osaka apparently. But like, so they hired him to do the localization for the English version. So of course, this game is a rhythm game. So you're playing the actual melody that's coming forth, kind of like think of Rock Band, Friday Night Funk, almost any of those games you've seen play.
Waka.
Yeah, any of those games, right? However, the game also has a story you go through with other characters that you discuss a lot. So these characters, of course,
Oh,
have
yeah,
dialogue lines that they say.
What was that one rhythm game that's from Banami, which is Konami's music division?
Konami has a rhythm game?
No, there's like Banami is like Konami's like music division.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Rhythm games.
Gotcha. But yeah, so basically, I'll kind of go through the article here. Oh, wrong one. Kind of go through the article here. Last week, U Syndrome Rhythm Psychosis hit Steam, the rhythm adventure game about a psychotic Himiko Shunin girl launched a very positive reviews on the platform, but was immediately hit with a complaints about the English localization. The game is written in a dampened style, which refers to delusional people who feel disconnected from reality, and is set against the backdrop of the early 2010 internet culture. While the Japanese language version of the game hits these vibes perfectly, the English language version completely changes the meaning of the sentences. Now, as they state here, and they're going to give an example right here below, but I want to go to Permaban because they actually like showcase a lot more.
Yeah.
So, in this image, someone was kind enough to kind of showcase what it says here. This person named, oh, look, it's Picoro! Picoro is the one that mentioned it. Thank you, Picoro. So,
no, I don't think I think it's just somebody who's a fan of Picoro.
I know, hon. I don't think it's the actual Picoro. But anyways,
because I don't think the real Picoro has time to deal with a lot of this stuff.
I am kidding. I know it's not actually Picoro. I'm not stupid.
I know, hon.
So, as they put it, some other famous examples. Well, let's start with it. The English translation total disrespects the whole game. The localization team did a terrible job. Inserted political phrases and trans wording. They killed references into Rants, Hocho, Digimon 03, NHK, Shobo, Kuno, NND, Steins Gate, and more because the translation is 25 years old and never watched any anime. We're gonna get to this comment right here later. Some other examples are a simple word like Yamaruo being turned into end fascism.
What the?
A FSN/FGO reference turned into I will never be victimized under fascism again.
I would be honest, Jilla. I feel like the person who was doing this and responsible for doing this must be some hardcore leftist.
Bro, brutal. We're gonna I promise you, we're gonna get to it. You're gonna lose your shit when you see this.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I would hope, I would be pretty much not surprised that it's gonna be really baffling.
Okay, so anyways, they say they turned it into I will never be victimized under fascism again. Holy fuck! You know, it's funny enough. Before I continue, I was getting kind of excited to play this game. I don't have the space on my PC to actually download any big games. I looked at the file size. I was like, oh my god, this isn't like fucking 20 gigs. My computer can actually handle it, probably run it really well. So I put it on my Steam's wish list, and I was planning on getting it my next paycheck. Not this upcoming next paycheck. And then as soon as I found out about this whole drama, I was like, wait, what? And so currently, now the team is working on getting a new localization. I hear that it's coming. They're working fast on it. I don't know if it's finished yet, but they have to redo the entire English localization. So
yeah, I wonder why.
So anyways, it gets better. So the line literally says command spell to okay, White Knight. I can't read what this is. It says to teach bros some.
Now you got to mention a race that has nothing to do.
No, Bruto, hear this. Remember, Bruto. This is like the whole referencing of what they're doing is that this is supposed to be around the 2010s era. So literally, whatever. I don't know what this is actually. I can't read Japanese. Says
other activist bullshit.
So it says tech bros are so gross. Very resting. Raffleman deserved. Raffle laugh my ass off deserved. And it just keeps going on and on. Oh, right here.
What the hell is Raffleman?
Basically rolling on the floor, laughing my ass off. Basically, they're comparing it to, huh?
Who the fuck is making these terms? Like, I swear, who the fuck?
Well, okay, these are actual terminologies used by Zoomer and even my millennial culture. The problem is the way it's being translated is. It's something. Remember how like last week we talked about Go For It Nakamura, and all a character said was "huh," and they changed it to "What are you talking about, honey?" or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Or localizers would take a literal one-word sentence like "hi" and they'll turn it into "Hey, baby, you want to come over to my place and fuck my ass?"
Or whatever fucking whatever stupid term.
They'll literally change one word to an entire phrase from like fucking War and Peace or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then it'll be filled to the brim with like a bunch of like fucking euphemisms and fucking pop culture references to like shit that they were a big fan of.
Yeah. Like it's funny how you mentioned euphemism, just because every time I keep thinking the word euphemism, I keep thinking immediately of George Carlin's
Oh God.
his views on euphemism.
Yeah. But no. FFS, take your meds. It literally gets changed to, are they crackheads? Oh my God. Yo, what the fuck? I want to get isekai'd.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a line that says "Trust the science."
Whoa, let's see, because there's like so much more, my dude. Like they have so much crap that literally like it's ridiculous. Like how much textual line they altered, and it's just...
this feels like the person who did try to make the whole translation into a personal rant.
Probably. Like again, I'm gonna go into my discussion of why I think this is happening the way it does soon, but I kind of want to get everyone like up to speed of what's happening here. So going back to the article, they give one example. It says one example of the game's phrases is which says here, which means I don't need it. Right? They even tell you purely translated from the actual Japanese kanji over to what it would mean in English says I don't need it. In Yu Syndrome, this line has been translated to I'd cut my uterus out if I could.
Oh shit!
A far cry from the original meaning. Exactly. As Arago says, a far cry from the original meaning. The major mistranslations have led to the game's creators issuing a statement that makes some immediate fixes. Yu Syndrome Rhythm Psychosis creator issues statement on the mistranslations, immediately fixes... so they immediately fixed it. Nice. We are aware of many players, especially these enjoying the game primarily to the English. We have raised concerns about the quality of the localization, said the developer Fukio Hirashi in the post on Steam. Development on this title was very fast, and some of us had noticed it still... And I'm not gonna completely fault them. Like, you should probably check the work of the people who you're hiring to do, but I understand, right? You wanted to get your game out. All they had to do was localize it, and you trusted them because they come with a huge repertoire of past games they localize. This company that I'm going to show you soon has a long list of games that you probably know that they've worked on.
All right, let's see.
Well, no. We're going to see soon. We can finish the article. So, notice that there's still some places English version that represent old versions of the Japanese text or not included display issues regarding kanji and cutout lines. We are now working on looking into those. Also, based on your feedback, we recognize the English translation requires some revisions. It didn't take Hirashi long to implement some fixes, with the major updates following a few hours later. In this update, over 60 poor attempts at localization were just... I fucking love whoever wrote this article. Who wrote this? Sam Woods. I don't know who you are, but Sam Woods, but fucking A, I love you. I mean, he could be a little meaner, but I'm glad he's still saying it the way he does. Following a few hours after the update, some of the most egregious examples that were fixed are as followed. I think this is... Oh my god. So, Japanese kanji, what it's supposed to say is, it doesn't matter. In English, the ones the company did is, necessarily evil these nuts. Next one. Japanese kanji, it's supposed to mean, isn't that too sudden? To, are they crackheads? Oh, they changed this one. It says, no one says, yo, that's why too sudden. Okay, like literally kept in the yo. But everything else is, like, they literally added in the yo, but everything else is essentially the same. Like, you could have just done that. Long ass kanji, maybe it's sleeping like that because it's older model. Yeah, maybe it's sleeping like that because it's an older model. 2, I bet their skin is smooth. What the fuck is that even supposed to mean?
Like I said, they'd be coming up with some actual stupid
No,
shit.
literally, the actual translation is supposed to be, maybe it's sleeping like that because it's an older model. 2, I bet their skin is smooth. What is the actual, like, connectivity between those two lines?
And not only that, but when they're saying skin, do they mean like a race or...
No, this is the next one. Right here, right? So literally, the Japanese kanji is supposed to say, please save me. They wrote, I crave the sweet release of death. How do you go from like, Bruto, save me, you're my only hope, to, nah, man, let me fucking die? At that point, you're not even translating.
That's not even... that sounds like the complete opposite.
That's what I'm saying. How do you fuck that up?
Exactly.
So, it's
like,
absolutely
it's like,
bonkers.
Do they not know fucking Japanese, dude?
No, well, again, we're
did you
gonna
just-
get your. Trust me, that will be answered. So it's absolutely bonkers. Set mistranslations of some of the best in game of year, the best in games for years. But while Hiroshi was implementing a bunch of changes, some big localization problems still persist. One pointed out that the game's Steam discussion page suggests that, come to think of it, aren't you interested in VTubers? Kaya-chan, there's a lot of, oh my god, there are a lot of cute ones out there. In Japanese was changed to, oh my god. Okay, so here's what it was supposed to say in Japanese. Right? Come to think of it, aren't you interested in VTubers? Kaya-chan, there's a lot of cute ones out there. To QTI, I'm pretty sure that meant to be quite. What's even the point of VTuber? There's already a ton of cute real people. Oh my god. That's not even... So literally the Japanese one, it says, hey, VTubers are cute, don't you like them? To, the fuck, VTubers? There are already real girls out there. This is, oh my god. Although it's likely poor translation affects, the localization team has, of course, been accused of pushing their own ideology, with one current branding Localizers. From the examples I've seen, I'm not sure if this is the case, but those who accuse others of pushing certain ideologies for sure are happy to push their own. Yeah, you kind of lost me with that last bit there. I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
Like, when someone deliberately adds in the contents of calling people like fucking what was it, like, what was the line again?
Fascists.
Yeah, when you add in the word fascist for no other reason than just to add in, ideology plays a part in it. You can't say that. I'm sorry.
Because let's be honest. Everybody who uses the term fascist, you already know that person's already a radical to start with, because they'll label anything that isn't like them or to them a fascist. Because of course, when they say that, that means that they come from the extreme side of the left.
Yeah, like if I've never heard someone who sees themselves as an actual like in-house Democrat, or someone who even sees themselves like as a center-leaning person, is going to outright just say like, yeah, he's fascist. I'm like, oh, what's your example? Like, well, how is he fascist? What has he done? He's like, oh, he's an authoritarian. I'm like, okay, how? What has he done?
Like, not only that, but you gotta ask them, what is their definition of
No. You can't ask. Okay, you can and you can't. I don't like people straight up asking what their definition is, because this kind of leads into a trap, because then they're going to give you what they actually believe should be the actual defining definition. As soon as you actually give them the real definition, they see that as you giving them like basically the old way to define it, and they'll give you the new way to define it.
No, but I'm not fooled by it.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's really hard to get into a discussion with these people on fair grounds because of that reasoning. Because they don't. No matter if you could give them the Webster dictionary definition of every word, and they will find a way to twist it and say, "No, see, that's wrong. I'm giving you the new way to define it."
Yeah, but then again, I'm not fooled by it. I know they try to fool. They'll be.
Well, that's not them trying to fool you. That's just them trying to. They're basically not even engaging with you in the conversation at that point. So there's no reason to engage with them.
That's what I'm already like. I'm already knowledgeable on a lot of this stuff. So.
But anyways, so are you ready to meet the company who did the localization for this game?
Get ready.
Oh, I'm fucking ready.
Open the gates. Open the gates.
Open the gates.
Please open the goddamn gates.
Behold, Dragon Baby.
Dragon Baby.
Dragon Baby.
I'm surprised it's not fucking Bad Dragon.
No, bro, look at this fucking like total early 2000s fucking graphics, man. Like the actual like font they use is the one they use like from like Goosebumps when like blood is dropping down and shit.
That's like my logo.
No, hun, look at no. See, you use that for aesthetic of who your character is for your VTuber, for your model. Look at this shit. This is what they use for a translating company.
This doesn't look like a translating company.
Right. Dude. This looks like a fucking 2008 fucking Tumblr page.
And it's making my aesthetic look like shit.
So this is bad. This is Baby Dragon. This is the localization company that actually worked on it. And as they put, too weird to live. but too cool to die.
What the hell?
So they've changed the
that-
terminologies
they-
to kind of get so
that's
like so this is handcrafted by humans. I'm assuming implies like no AI was used. All Steam languages. Again, specialists in the strange. I'm guessing what their meaning is professionals at their craft. And then indie, AA, and AAA. That's what they've worked on. That's what they will work on. Okay.
Yeah,
So
this is just another shameless sweet baby.
So,
essentially,
well,
because
okay, so-
with the name like Baby Dragon, you know it's gonna get fucking.
Nah,
good.
I'm sorry. I can't think of Baby Dragon when I think about Joey Wheeler from fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! They're summoning Baby Dragon in attack mode. But no, the
Yeah,
answers. Who are
With
Baby
the name-
Dragon?
With the name. Yeah, no, I'm saying with the name with the name in the baby in the title of the company name, you know it's gonna be some sweet baby ache shit.
Well, I just don't understand the name at all. Like, usually a name has, I don't know, like, it doesn't always, but I feel like a name should actually not only just stand out, but grab your attention in such a way that makes you kind of think, oh, you know what? That makes sense. Like, to like what they do. When I hear the word Dragon Baby, I don't think localization company. I may think a production company, or I may even think like a small indie dev team, but I don't think a team that specifically profession is localization. I just don't. That's not anything. So, who are Dragon Baby? Dragon Baby is a creative outsourcing solution. Hear that word specifically. They are a solution, which is business speak for a bunch of weirdos who throw words around. We create and write and we localize, we test, we record, and we are damn good at it. We work on the industry's weirdest, spookiest, and narrative essence games.
Oh wow!
Whoever fucking wrote this.
I bet the stuff that they do is really pretty spooky though.
It's the fucking dumbest thing ever. Who writes like this, man? And the teams we work are face slapping, genre defining, and most are all nice.
Is it like it's hard for me to tell. Are they trying to like make it like in a description where it makes it sound like a scary movie plot or something?
I don't
like
even
that?
fucking know, dude. I think that's what they're trying to do, but it's really weird. Like, why would you word it? Like, you want people to. Okay, so you have a studio, right? You know, this game's coming out. This game, this anime, it's coming out in about 6 months. We need to get this shit for a dub, so this way they can put it on Crunchyroll, on Nintendo, whatever. We need to hire a very fast but efficient localization company. Who do we hire? And you look it up. You look up the page, right? And someone recommends you Dragon Baby, and you type that shit in, right, into the fucking form, the web page, and then you look at their website, and this is what you read. Who the fuck would hire you? Who's gonna sit here, but maybe a 65-year-old fucking executive? They speak like my grandchild did years ago. They seem very down to earth.
Yeah, they try to make it sound like they're scary and make sure that they're.
But no, look at this.
super
So
edgy
here
and
are the
very
sacrifices they put in. Meaning this is the companies they've worked for, like worked with.
sacrifices. Yeah, that's quite the fucking.
They've worked with Pocket Pair,
Sacrifices,
Cap, like you.
they think they're sacrificing like they make it sound very scary because it's horror.
They've worked with Game Workshop. I didn't see that.
For real? Are you serious?
No, look at some. You know a lot of these companies. They've worked with fucking Atlas, Sega, Devolver, fucking
Is that
Digital,
okay?
Team 7. No, Capcom kind of makes sense. Pocket Pair.
okay?
No, Focus Home Interactive, SNK.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But I'm surprised that Arc System Works is not even in here.
But no, so here are games they've. Listen to this. Games we have touched with our fingers. So they've done localization for No, I'm Not Human.
That sounds like more of them trying to admit to something than actually trying to sound scary.
I'm kind of disappointed because I've been hyped up for months for the game Signals. Since like last year when I heard about this game. I've been told so many great things about this game, and I'm so excited to play it, and I just found out today when I looked up this company, they've worked on Signals. Oh, they worked on mouthwashing. God damn it.
Metal Gear Solid?
We're
Are you
we're gonna get to this. Trust me, Bruno. We're gonna get to this. I like Bug Shocket Roulette. That's a fun game.
Silent Hill 2 is awesome.
I believe that's the remake. And here are the other games. So,
Mean Girl Overdose? Really, dude?
yeah.
Oh my god, dude, I love that game.
So like these are all the games they've worked on with. Now, here's the thing though. Right? So you see all these games they've worked with, right? And some of these games are really, really old.
Snatcher and Phoenix Wright? Oh
yes.
my
Well, no,
God,
but that's what I'm saying. You notice some of the games they've worked on. Some of these games are really fucking old. They're not even the remakes of these games. They're just like the games when they came out. So, I wasn't the one that noticed this. Someone else did, and
what the hell is Pokemon the first movie in 2000 and Pokemon third movie?
These are the movies. These are the Pokemon movies. They worked on the localization.
Why? Aren't they a game company or?
No, they're a localization studio, meaning they work on anything. Now again, but you are correct. They're a localization that primarily works on video games. Why do they have those? And that's again, I didn't find this out. Someone else did. You come to realize this company is still relatively new. You go over to their LinkedIn page.
Doesn't make any sense. Like, if I would grab a lot of my old Pokemon VHS tapes.
No, look, founded in 2020.
Yeah. I don't know what's the point of them like trying to localize the old Pokemon movies.
No. They technically they did localize it. You see, here's the kicker, right? This company was made up. The actual CEO of Dragon Baby, this guy right here, Jeremy Blanstein. He's the one who did all those localizations.
Jeremy Blanstein, that's quite the name.
Yeah, he literally all these games we just saw, like all this shit. Majority of it, he worked on, did the localization with a small team, and then later when he made Dragon Baby, he just took all his accomplishments and put it as though they're the ones that did it.
Of course they did.
Yeah, so like half of these games isn't even supposed to be here because,
like a lot, they try to fool us.
Well, okay, I can understand the reason why, because technically, even though it wasn't the company, he still was responsible for it. But at the same time, you're making it so this way you have a bigger like repertoire of games you've done to kind of showcase your company's experience. When in actuality, it was just one guy. Well, one guy and his friends. But yeah, so if you go to the LinkedIn page, this is the guy right here. So the reason why all this shit is happening, right? So the LinkedIn, it says 2 to 10 employees, and the headquarters is located in Osaka. And then specialties: localization, video game localization, LQA, narrative design, and writing. So the reason why all this is kind of culminating to what I'm talking about localization, why the fuck they're up their own ass, is because this guy right here, Jeremy, he's been in the biz for a while. This man is like over 50 years old. He's been doing this since the late 90s. He's been actively doing localization. Right? So the reason why you saw Metal Gear is because yes, he did the localization for the English version of Metal Gear Solid 1 back then for Konami.
Yes.
Now here's the kicker though. That's it. In Fascinating Story, published by Polygon, Jeremy Blanchard recalls the time as the sole translator for the US version of Metal Gear Solid. So, Metal Gear Solid translator explains why he changed Konami's script. Let me repeat myself. He explains
Konami
why
or
he
Kojima?
changed... Huh?
You said Konami and not Kojima.
My bad, Kojima. Why he changed Kojima's script.
But to be fair, Kojima has become quite of a.
No, you can't use present day Kojima to explain away past Kojima.
Yeah.
But again, hear what I'm saying for that tagline. Metal Gear Solid Translator explains why he changed Kojima's script. One man worked on the English translation for Metal Gear Solid, and he controversially rewrote large chunks of it. Dude, this is back in the fucking 90s.
Yeah.
Like,
That
if
is
you
pretty
actually...
laughable.
So throughout this article, when you read it, right, this man comes off as this... He at least attempts to sound like a down-to-earth, mild-mannered young man who simply found an opportunity to work for a company that he saw many people who would one day develop into great, like creatives one day, right? He speaks as though like literally like, yeah, it was amazing. Like I got to meet Kojima at the moment before he really blew up. like I got to work for companies like for Resident Evil and Silent Hill, like right on the precipice of them like taking off into the stratosphere of gaming.
But let's be honest, these franchises were already big and established.
Right, but again, the way he speaks about it is that he really speaks about it as though he was a guy that really was there when it all really was culminating, and he knew, just from seeing it, that these guys were one day going to be big.
Well, it's funny how they say big, because back when the first
Oh
when
god,
Resident
get this
Evil
shit out of my fucking
and
face.
Metal Gear came out, they were pretty, I mean, especially with Metal Gear, because Metal Gear was pretty known. Especially because on the NES days too.
Well, yes, but like at the same time, they weren't known. Like they weren't like so huge or so large that like they were like as they didn't hit the numbers that they are now. Like people remember many games more fondly than what they did when they were released because they experienced and played it. But honest to God, there are so many games that we played as young kids who many people still have never experienced to this day. Like honestly, there's a creator I like a lot named Melo who big into gaming, big into reviews and media, and especially movie culture. He has his own show called EFAP, right? He has played... He started Resident Evil, the series, with 4. So he never played any of the past games. He never played Code Veronica. He never played 3, 2, or 1, any of those games. After Resident Evil, doing a Resident Evil 9 stream, and a friend of his named Critical Drinker recommending he play the older games, he decided to go back on stream, play the older games. And he's finding out how good these games really are. Mm-hmm. And what's really astonishing there is, even though, like, these games are known as, like, what started the chain of events to actually help blow up Capcom to what it is now, there are still people out there who never experienced these games, despite being either around our age group or being just slightly younger, because they just either weren't into the hobby at the time, or they just didn't blow up to the same extent they are now.
Or were too young to play video games.
Exactly. Like it's just one of those things where like, yeah, were these things popular? Sure, but they're nowhere near as their popular counterparts are now. Meaning, Resident Evil 1, it was never is not as popular as 9 is now. And it's never going to be.
Or Metal Gear on the NES or MSX.
Yes, like I would probably argue Metal Gear Solid 1 is not more popular than Metal Gear Revengeance.
Oh, actually, Metal Gear Solid is way more popular than the so-called sequel on the NES called Snake's Revenge.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't think 1 is more popular than Revengeance, right? Is right now. Revengeance has become a meme to the nth degree because of Armstrong. Like, so many people know that line, and so many people went to actually play that game and bought that game on a cheaper copy, specifically just to experience Armstrong and that game's wacky, like, design of combat. Mm-hmm. But anyways, so going along with this article, so okay, the article states he changed Kojima's script. What does he mean change? What does he mean change? So, right here. So the entire story is well worth a read, as Blizzard recalls the daunting process of translating such a dialogue-heavy game by himself at the time, where there were little internet and little presence of such massive undertaking. If you've ever been interested in the process of translating, especially in the unique era of gaming, this is a fascinating look into the process as well as a window into how Metal Gear Solid evolved and was perceived by its early days. However, the heart of the story lies in the conflict that arose regarding Blainstein's translation. See, Blainstein didn't just translate everything exactly as it was written, along with cleaning up some of the language so that Sorry, my mouth is getting dry. Language
Drink
so that
water.
I don't have any near me.
Dula, do not end up like last week. Come on.
Okay, then give me a moment. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab some water.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to, guys. I had to do it. I had to tell Dula.
I have returned with Zephyr. Zephyr Hill, yay!
Yeah, Dula, of course I had to tell you to get water, because, you know, you don't want to end up like last week.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay, so, anyways,
Yeah.
along
'Cause
with cleaning up some of the
'cause, you know-
language, huh?
No, I'm saying you gotta drink the water because you gotta at least hydrate, because if you don't, it's gonna delay when you're working on videos and doing your voice.
I know. Okay, anyways, along with cleaning up some of the language so that it made sense in English. Again, keep in mind, he says made sense in English. Blancy would change entire phrases and add new bits of dialogue designed to flesh out the characters. Again, flesh out the characters. Blancy admits
Flash
that this
out or flash out?
flesh out, that you know the phrase like I'm fleshing out the character's design or his
Flashing
character.
out, yeah. Yeah.
So, Blaine Sim admits that this is a may be controversial, but he believes it was necessary to popular translating a title. Quote, translation is not a science, is an art. Go fuck yourself. Writes Blainstein. No, literally, go fuck. I hate people so much who... There is an art to certain things. Like the people who do...
They try to be unapologetic. Like, they think they're being very unapologetic when...
It's not even just that. It's literally one of the... So, here's what I mean by that. It is one of the laziest methods to push away from backlash to anything when you say, like, what I do isn't simply just make a ship in a bottle. I'm making art. And it's like...
Yeah, bullshit.
It's like saying, I'm not merely fixing up your car, sir. I'm making art. I'm like, dude, I just need you to challenge the spark plugs.
Or the oil.
And he's got your car like in the shape of a fucking like gondola or some shit like that. Anyways,
I'm surprised it's not in the shape of a fucking Ford Pinto.
He changed your Ford Focus into a fucking into a Chevy. Like, how did you even do that, dude? I was only in the bathroom for like 5 minutes. I worked really hard.
That does not make any sense. How the hell you gotta chase a Ford?
And you see, what he did was he got a fucking little hammer and a little like screwdriver, and he knocked off the emblem that said Ford, and he just hot glued a thing that had the Chevy symbol.
Yeah, I see people do that when they change their front ends to look like it was made by Oldsmobile, but really it's just a Chevy truck.
Oh God. Anyways, one most take liberties with the text to capture essence of the words. My God, you pretentious fuck! I fucking hate you so much. In an attempt to recreate the feeling of the original for a very different audience and with a very different cultural background. Blainstein's approach led him to using words like codec or phrases like OSP, on-site production procurement, which weren't in the script but became part of the MGS franchise nevertheless. Blainstein understands that the process will no doubt be considered incorrect by some who believe that he should have just translated the original script as closely as possible and made alterations only when strictly necessary. Apparently, Hideo Kojima was one of those people who thought Blainstein went too far. While Blainstein admits that they only heard from the others about Kojima's reaction, and neither Kojima or Kojima's comment on the piece, his impressions of that or Kojima's frustrations resulted in his future instances of localization version of the script stick with the original writing as much as possible. This is certainly seems to be part of the reason why MGS Studio games and their dialogue became a little more weird after the first title. In fact, you can hear more accurate translations of MGS original script and the GameCube's Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. The difference really is quite dramatic at many spots.
Dula.
Yeah.
You know what this is reminding me of?
What's up?
You know how in the original Resident Evil, it was quite the meme because of how bad the voice acting and the translation was.
Are you talking about the Joe sandwich?
Yeah.
Dude, that line is iconic. Come on, you can't okay. There are some lines that's pretty funny, all right, because how fucking corny and bad it is. But
Yeah.
this is what I mean by like this kind of is gonna hit me to start talking about in a longer diatribe, and that being the fact that this guy, like, I've read this article and I've read two others where he's done an interview talking about his process for doing translations, and again, this guy is the current. Where is he? CEO of Dragon Baby, the company that literally did this.
Yeah.
So again, his ideology has only basically infected his localization more. Because see, the problem was with his with his.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised he'd be watching a lot of shitty Brit tubers.
Well, no, here's the thing, right? The reason why Kojima hated like what he did to his script isn't just because he changed it or altered it. It's because he would change whole line Stakes would do, and he made him this like quippy, annoying, fucking like Snake. Snake, are you there? Like, can you see where they are? Yeah, the moon. Or some stupid shit like that. He'd make him say he's like saying like, "I'll see you next Tuesday, bub." Or fucking like saying like, "Huh, you always keep one in the chamber." Retarded shit like that.
Do you know that like the voice line when Snake was in Smash Bros?
Which one?
And then what? And Brawl when he would, especially when he was like talking about every time when you put Yoshi in the stage and then you have Snake just like talking about Yoshi is like, yeah, we're gonna catch him and eat them and see what they taste like.
No, I've not heard that. I typically don't pay attention to the voice lines, and Smash. I usually just play Smash. But yeah, no. So this guy basically made Snake a wise talking, like, I'm gonna crack a joke every few fucking minutes type of character. Like something that Snake was obviously not.
So basically,
A Marvel character. He wanted to make him into a Marvel character, essentially.
No, but it's reminding me a lot of Gex.
Yes, that's a great example of Gex. He wanted to make him into a Gex character.
Yeah,
now I don't think he wanted him to make him like Slay.
Because when you said that, I was like, yeah, the first thing that came to mind is fucking Gex the Gecko.
Well, I don't think he wanted to make him like make obligatory fucking like 80s and 90s like movie references all the time. But still, like he wanted to make him someone who just like threw a one-liner every so often, or fucking like when he did something crazy, he's like, "Whoa, that just happened." Shit like that. Like no one, especially maybe now back then that was gonna be fine. But like the fact of the matter is like all you had to do was realistically like translate it verbatim, like word for word. But like you couldn't do that because again, and this is where I'm gonna talk about, because I want to make this has inspired me to work on an actual like longer form video talking about the three structural what the fuck just happened? What the hell is this? Go away! Let's go back here. God, I hate websites.
It better not give you a virus.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna click out of the Metal Gear one. I don't need that open anymore. It's just fucking.
Guess what? Do you have virus on your computer?
Oh my god! Do you remember the virus? Did you ever get the virus when you were a kid of like the shaking, dancing, naked lady?
I think so.
Oh god!
I think I might have been too young to remember.
I'm showing my age. Anyways,
I think I have, but I don't know. I mean,
it was kind of a well-known virus. It was like a weird, poorly like resoluted, like fucking rendered woman just kind of shaking her tatas, and like that was the only program that could actually open up, or all the rest were corrupted.
Yeah, I don't know. I was too young to remember that.
Yeah, that happened to me in my old compact computer way back when, like 2001.
Oh, Compact. I remember that company.
I was fucking me and my brothers used to use I probably shouldn't be saying this. We used to use alternative programs to get some music we wish to listen to some of our favorite artists with. One was called Lemon Drive, and that's all I'll say about it.
Lemon Drive. What the hell is that?
LimeWire, hon. LimeWire.
LimeWire.
Wait, you don't know about Lime? Oh my god, I'm so fucking old! Just kill me. LimeWire was essentially a torrent you could use specifically for music, for ripping like media. Like you could get like full-fledged DVDs.
Like Napster, like how Metallica
Yeah, like
tried to
Napster.
how Metallica tried so fucking hard to get rid of that website.
Dude, like what LimeWire went down like several times and it always came back up stronger. Like there was so many different like fucking like media companies that wanted to fucking get rid of that shit entirely.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like how it was like a complete embarrassment for Metallica.
Oh, Mr. Monkey. What's this about Dula doing the homies? Dula, would you cake slice? Wait, what? Dula would for a cake slice? I would do anything for a cake slice, sir. Wait, what kind of cake?
Wait, I don't know. Something about banging each other or some shit.
Wait, what? What the fuck? I would do no such thing, sir. And I would leave it at that. But anyways, okay, so this is kind of what I'm talking about when it comes to localization, right? So
Yeah.
this brings up to a greater point because we've seen a lot, especially right now, this specific like drama with this company, with Yuna syndrome, has put this studio on the map now. Like people know about this company. And I'm not trying to say like they were trying to hide themselves, but here's something funny that I didn't know about either. Most companies don't credit localizers in their actual credits.
Yeah.
At the end of the credits, you don't actually see like the company who did the localization. They're not there. So typically people don't actually know who did it. And I won't lie, like I haven't played all these games that are here, but I know of a good chunk of them, and I know like I sometimes have a problem with some of the way it's worded or what some of the characters say, but I just kind of brush it off sometimes. But in the case of like Yuna, it was so apparent that shut up, Mr. Lucky. It was so apparent that like people just couldn't let it drop. Because like you heard me read out some of those lines. Some of them didn't even make fucking sense. Like again, how do you change where the fuck is it? How do you change the line from Japanese kanji, please save me, to I crave the sweet release of death? How does that happen?
Oh my God.
Strawberry shortcake ain't bad. My favorite cakes are carrot cake, red velvet cake, and I used to really like ice cream cake as a kid, but I don't know how much I would like it now. Oh, and cheesecake. But yeah, so
I like a good Oreo cheesecake though.
I don't know, Oreo cheesecakes. Or I've had Oreo cheesecake. It can be really too sweet. I just can't handle sweets like I used to. Like sometimes I just like try. Even sometimes ice cream, depending on the flavor, it can be too strong, and I can get really tired of it like really fast.
Yeah.
You heard Eric. You know what you know what to use.
Strawberry shortcake. Oh yeah. Did you know anything about strawberry shortcake?
Do I know anything about strawberry shortcake?
Yes.
I mean,
series or the franchise.
Wait, what? There's a series called Strawberry Shortcake?
It's a cartoon from the 80s.
Oh, yes. Okay.
It started off as a cartoon.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
like it's basically like My Little Pony. How you
No, I know.
very...
Dude, I haven't thought about that in so long. Yeah, I know about Strawberry Shortcake. What about it?
No, I just wanted to mention it.
Oh, okay.
Because it's just like how Strawberry Shortcake is like one of those 80s cartoons like My Little Pony. How like
Yeah, it was a series that was gravitated towards kids for marketing for toys.
No, but like it got its own iterations too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It started off as being a marketing way for toys. Like most cartoons in the 80s weren't cartoons that were just created out of someone's mind. They started off being literally a production line of toys from Hasbro or whatever toy company, and they wanted to have a TV show to essentially market the product to the kids. So when the toy line was actually out, the kids would be excited to get it. Like TMNT was a comic book series at first, but then as soon as the actual guys sold it over to Hasbro to make it into a full-fledged TV, they made the toy lines first, and then the actual series came out.
Yeah. Or same thing with He-Man or Transformers.
Yeah, exactly. These all start out as marketing for toy. Like these all start out with toy lines, and then they use the show to market the toys to kids.
Yeah.
But the
I don't
funny
think the
thing
same
is,
can-
despite that, we still had a really good quality series to go along. Like, no one's gonna sit here and say that the old Transformers show wasn't great, or GI Joe, or fucking TMNT. These shows actually still had a lot of like effort put into them to make them like watchable and enjoyable for kids.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It's funny how Stranger Things is mentioned a lot of these cartoons.
well, they're placed in the '80s, so of course they are.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the kind of stuff that my mom or my parents.
The
grew up
problem
with,
is, like,
because
to me, Stranger
Gen
Things
Xers.
started off being like the first season was it. The first season felt like these were like kids actually within the actual time period of the '80s. Like everything felt like it was like deserving to have, like from the actual technology they would use, from the way the city was designed, to what the kids were actually actively listening to. It wasn't just the same top 10 popular songs of the '80s going around. No, they chose a lot of obligatory like almost no name artist who used to play back then, and they played it on the actual radio for the background. And then as the series progressed, you started to lose all those things that merely felt '80s, and they just kept telling themselves instead of trying to make the show like mimic not mimic but feel like it was the '80s, they just said like, nah, let's just take the most like well-known things about the '80s and put it here.
Yeah.
Like they kept repeating the same fucking like top 3 like 80s songs all the time throughout the entire. What was that one song they kept repeating every season? God, I forgot. I can't fuck with
season?
I can't fuck with Stranger Things. It was such a disappointment for what happened to that show. It really lost me in season 2, and then I tried it back in season 3, and it was so fucking bad. And I've only heard terrible things of season 5. I don't care. I just don't care to finish it.
Yeah, season 5 was quite the disaster.
But anyways,
I did enjoy the first 3 and probably a little bit of season 4, but
no, to
overall,
me, so much shit that went wrong with the series, like they fucked Hopper over in season 2 so bad, and then I only heard he got worse as a character, which made me really sad because Hopper was my favorite character in season 1 throughout. Which
yeah,
is
he was a pretty good character.
I know, man, they really hurt him.
Yeah.
They tried building up this like father-daughter relationship with him and Eleven in season 2, but then you kind of like figure out that Hopper's kind of just like a really really shitty dad in general.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a daughter.
Well, he did, but again, like they have to like restate the fact that like Hopper had a daughter. Hopper's daughter died. Like we know we know she died, but do we have to find out the same information? Like it's like Hopper's feelings for like the fact that he lost the daughter is like really good to help establish a character, how he acts, why he's so gruff, why his exterior is the way he is. But then, as soon as he learns something from the character, as a character, and tries to grow past it, the next season we have to make him forget everything he just learned to kind of reduce him to like having the same arc again. Which being, oh shit, did you know my daughter died? Yes, Hopper, we know. You've told us like for the 50th time.
Yeah. I always thought Billy was like badass.
That was the guy. Oh no, Billy.
It was Max's
Yeah, Max's brother. Oh my god.
dude, that motherfucker was fucking with a Camaro.
I was about to say, is the only reason why you liked him was because he fucking like was a guy who worked on his old cars?
No, because he had like this cool guy attitude.
He was a dickhead.
Yeah, I know, but
Like he was an absolute point piece of shit.
yeah, I know, but
Ugh.
it's just kind of.
I get you though. I get you. Like he did have a cool aesthetic to him. I felt bad because he fucking like beat the shit out of what's his name? Oh, I'm forgetting the character's name. It's fine. Anyways, let's get back to the main topic. So, here's what I'm trying to say about localizers and why this has become more apparent to people nowadays, but why it should always be like a thing. Because like I've been seeing more posts online talk about how like oh, people don't understand how our jobs work. We're not supposed to like one for one translate this shit. We're supposed to add it in so this way like there's a bit of like of our culture embedded influences, so this way it's not confusing for the people because people don't know Japan like they do. Like they keep using this excuse, and this is the only excuse they use, but it's one of the more popular ones they like to use. Like many are localized in the actual business. And here are the things I typically like to say when I talk about the problem with localizers today. And when I say today, I mean it to this day and age, like this, the 2020s and 2010s, is at one point in time, that argument of like people don't understand the culture of Japan, that might have had some actual weight to it. That might have been something that you could make an argument for, and I could be like, you know what? I see that perspective. The problem is you can't use that in this day and age now. You can't use this in our modern day because anime has become so.
It's basically how they just use the same argument of just shouting fascism because it's automatically a fascism.
Well, no, it's not. It's not so much that. It's different because literally in that case they're using a frame of an ideology to kind of push past your
or any other buzzword.
Well, but no, it's not the same. Cause see, there you just said it. It's them throwing out a buzzword to halt any criticism. Here, they truly believe what they're saying is fact. They truly believe that there are people out there that don't know shit about Japanese culture. And while that might be true, yes, there are plenty of like old people and like people in that. But if you're already watching, listening, and in the actual anime community, there are aspects about Japanese culture you already kind of know. Not only that, but we're not fucking retarded. Like, we can easily, if we don't know something, we have the internet. We can easily look it up to figure out what the fuck they're talking about or what the hell it is. But the reason why I bring this up is because this might have been an argument back in the 90s and even 80s. Like, I mean, this would have been an argument in the 80s and maybe even 90s. Because anime wasn't as prevalent as it is today. It wasn't as popular as it is today. So,
like, it was more of a niche thing with Gen Xers.
Exactly. So, like, having certain things changed to fit the culture that you're translating it for could make sense. Like, again, one of the most famous lines for Pokemon, right? When Brock is holding up a thing of rice balls, and he goes, "Man, I love jelly donuts. I sure do love these jelly donuts. Jelly donuts are my favorite."
Oh yeah, that one.
But that's what I'm saying, right? Like, you look at that, and you're like, as a kid, I saw that line, I'm like, this is some weird looking jelly donuts, but okay. But again,
Really, they were just
as I have grown older,
keep in mind, I went to a Japanese market store and I had an onigiri for the first time.
it would serve people to keep the original translation, to have people interact with it. That's what I'm getting at. That's exactly what I'm getting at, Mr. Monkey. It's the idea, like, back then, yes, but as time has progressed and many of the people who once into anime as kids have grown older, we ourselves have already, like, not even just having to look at it ourselves, but many things have been given, like, it's so much easier to have the context clues for things, for us to just kind of figure things out now ourselves without having someone to tell us. Like, again, immediately I'm like, oh, that's a rice ball. Or, oh, okay, they're talking about, like, this Japanese prefecture. Oh, okay, they're talking about this specific custom they do in Japan. Like, there aren't things I need to actively, like, be aware of outside of just having the actual translation do that. And here's the funny thing. Most subs do that for you. Most subs not only translate the words of what they're saying, but they actually put captions on over like words with kanjis, or when they say a specific phrase in Japan, like for instance, this happened way back when one of my favorite animes when I was growing up was called Lucky Star. It was a slice.
Dude, I love that one, dude.
I love Lucky Star. I used to watch it all the time as a kid when I was growing up. Anyways, in Lucky Star, there was a specific line that the character, one of the twin sister girls said, because she didn't know what it meant. She looked at her friends like, "Hey guys, I don't know what the word chin chin means," and the camera really focused on her saying this. I don't remember if it was chin chin or shin shin, something like that. But anyways, as soon as she said that, right, immediately as a kid, I became interested. So I looked up what the word meant, and apparently it was slang for penis.
Of course it is.
And no, but it brought context to the scene because both her sister and Kana-chan were really, really like put off. Like, oh, where did you hear this from? It's like I was hearing these two guys talk, and one guy mentioned his shin, and I was really confused with what he was talking about. So I wanted to ask him, but I didn't ask him. And she's like going on about like how she figured that she came about this word. She thought she'd asked her sister, and like she's super embarrassed by this. And when I look at him, I'm like, oh, that's why she's embarrassed. 'Cause she's talking about some dude's dick.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like either
about the one where I'm not sure if it was her who like looked at a yaoi magazine and like
yeah, exactly. But like here's the funny thing: when the Blu-ray for I think it was the DVD. When the DVD came out for Lucky Star, they actually added captions to that word to actually let you know what it meant. Like, again, this is what I mean. Localizers don't need to change the entire verbiage or phrasing or add in your own little fucking gay, like, pop culture references to make something translated so this way us here in America can understand. We're not stupid.
Or virtue signaling terms.
That's what I mean. But
One
we're
might
not
put it.
retarded, and neither are kids. We will understand what you mean if either one, you put in the caption, or two, you just completely keep it the same. And us as kids are gonna put context clues to like, oh, they're referring to this place, or they're referring to this thing, or oh, that's what they meant. Like, it's ridiculous. Like again, I like the English dub for the anime series that came out last season, called the You and I Are Polar Opposites. I love this anime. I think it's great. The English dub is kind of hard to listen to.
Yeah, you've been talking about that anime a lot.
It's great. I want to share it with you. It's amazing. But like, the English dub can be kind of hard to listen to because the girl who the main character, right? She's very much like, I guess like a not even like a Gen Xer, like a very like a young girl who speaks with like kind of a slang, but the slang she speaks with is very Japanese. So the localizers decide, hey, let's change it to be more Americanized, and the Americanized slang is essentially internet pop culture memes.
Of course it is.
So that's her entire dialogue when she speaks sometimes. She calls herself homegirl. She's like, your girl speaks this way, or your girl's got the your girl's got the digits and all this shit.
You know what? You know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
It reminds me of this old anime from like the 90s. I don't know what the. I keep forgetting. Like I know the anime, but I don't remember. I know the anime, but I just don't remember. I keep forgetting the name.
What's it about?
It's kind of hard for me to. It's like from the 90s. All right, let me see. Let me type it in.
Where as you type it in, but like.
Kade. What's it called? Oh, hold up.
Here, just maybe I can help. Like, tell me what's it about.
It's like essentially, it's like a magical girl. Well, I wouldn't say magical girl. It's like there'll be like episodes where she's like rapping and shit. That in the English dub. Fuck, can't forget.
I have no idea what you're talking. You're not really giving me much to go off of, hon. Okay, here. If you can remember, we'll come back. For right now, so that's one instance, right? That's one instance. It's the idea that like time is against you, meaning at one point in time you might have had something. You might have had an argument at one point in time, but that was in the early stages of anime coming over to the West. Now that anime has become one of the most popular forms of media people take in, especially here in the West, you can't make that same argument. Because more and more people are becoming invested in not only Japan's culture, but anime culture in general. So having the argument, I'm like, oh, well, you just won't understand when they talk about something specific in their country versus ours. I'm like, okay, so why not just change it to mean something else? Like instead of them talking about like, let's say maybe a culture festival that's happening at like their neighborhood community, just call it a neighborhood festival. You don't have to call it like the big game happening on Thursday, so this way you like reference like football or something like that for like kids in high school. Like you don't have to like alternate it to these, be specific to us because.
Oh, okay. I got it's called Kodo-cha.
Kodo-cha?
Kodo-cha.
How do you spell that?
It's spelled Kodocha.
This?
Yeah, yes, that anime, yeah.
The fuck is this?
Like there'll be like segments where the main characters is like rapping and shit in the English dub.
Right, but like, what is it? Like, is it like a slice of life, supernatural?
It's more like a slice of life.
Oh my god, dude! I remember when anime used to be just so like, look how like round the top of the head is, the wide eyes.
Yeah.
I kind of miss this style of anime in its design for its characters.
It's a comedy drama.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yo, she looked like she about to fuck someone up though. I love this cover art. You got the guys in the back with the white beaters on. That's amazing. But anyways.
Yeah, that's what I think.
God damn it.
I think we should definitely watch that one.
So kind of like my next big issue, right? And this is my issue with localizers, and not just this one doesn't just appear to localizers. It's not just a localizer issue. It's people who work in the media industry in general, and that is the idea of taking something that you're adapting or assisting in creating the sources for, and you thinking that it is now become your work to do as you seem fit, you seem to please. Like take
like they try to be very smeary of them representing their own work.
Well, like yes, they see it as this has become mine now. I can do with it what I please. The fucking original creator can be damned. I don't care. So, and what I mean, one of the best examples I always like to give when I talk about this scenario is the Disney's Marvel's Eternals. So they hired
that was really shitty.
they hired a director who had only ever worked on small, and I mean small budget indie films, and she just recently the last movie she made for Eternals was a movie that came out for an indie film that she made. It won bonkers at like the fucking film festivals, right? It did great. Every film festival went up, it like won it took home the awards. So Disney like, hey, you made a small movie of the budget of like $40,000. Well, we're gonna give you a $1 billion franchise for your first big movie, and we want you to make it about the Eternals. And the moment she got it, her immediate thought is like, at the end of this movie, I want the giant celestials to break out of the earth and destroy it. So this way, for my second movie, the Eternals have to find a way to remake the earth. And Disney executives look at that and they're like, wait, did you already start filming this? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, you have to change it. And she's like, why? I'm like, because we got like 5 other films in between the Eternals. How are we going to explain away the fact that the earth blew up and everyone died? And she's like, well, that's just something you guys have to think about. And like, she wasn't willing to play ball up until the final part of them like having this discussion. So not only was she willing to fuck up the actual storyline of the Eternals and their comic ward plot, but the actual plots that's being surrounded in the cinematic universe. And again, I'm using the Eternals as one case example. There are multiple. Like again, look at the actual another big one. Despite how people feel about J.J. Abrams' Star Wars Force Unleashed, you can at least say J.J. Abrams had an actual vision and he wrote out an actual a 3 trilogy movie structure with his scripts. Like he actually knew what was going to be going in the first one, the second one, and the third one. But as soon as they kicked him off and they made Ryan be the one to work on the films and gave him the second movie, JJ goes, okay, here's the schematics I made for these 3 films. Go ahead and use them. Ryan goes, okay. And he grabs him and he throws him in the trash because he goes, this is mine now. Go fuck yourself. I'm going to do what I want. So all the established characters, like again, Hux.
Yeah.
If you remember the character
Basically
Hux.
What happened with, I'm not sure if Bridget is like appropriate to mention here.
No, it's not because see, in that case, it wasn't the localizers that did this. It was their own creator who decided to change it.
Yeah, but the localizers did influence the original creator.
Yes and no. See, again, I like to agree with you there. The problem is, I'm talking about specifically when the localizers aren't. In this case, I'm talking about they're not like changing someone's mind. They're purposefully taking already well-established lore, characters, dialogue, and scenarios and altering them to fit the need that they see fit. It's not them like changing someone's mind. No. They don't need to change someone's mind because they're already going to change it because now they think it's theirs. And again, this is what I mean when it's not just like an actual pervasion that's happening with localizers specifically. This is a constant thing that happens in media, in the media industry constantly over time. Like again, go to Hollywood. There are so many people who don't see video games as art. So when it actually gets an adaptation for a movie or for a TV show, they're like, okay, fuck it. We don't need to follow the actual lore. The Halo TV show, the fucking Fallout series. Huh?
Borderlands.
Yeah, there you go. Another great example. Like, but see, that's the fucked up thing. That one even had fucking Ryan's pitch for his backing. He even saw the movie. He was like, guys, please go see the film. I watched that piece of shit. It sucked. There was zero redeeming quality of that film. I'm so glad I didn't pay for it. I'm so glad I didn't pay to see that movie. That movie was fucking awful.
Yeah.
They changed so much of the actual...
It literally became like one of the worst video game adaptations, and I'd rather watch the 1993 Mario movie than
It's not. It's not. Sometimes they don't even just do it to change it to like because they're dickheads. They do it because they think, you know what, I can make this make sense. You know, it doesn't make sense the fact that a character can do this. Like again, go back to the original Super Mario Brothers movie. Like, how can Mario jump that high? You know what? We'll give him like these awesome gravitational boots that make him jump super high.
Yeah.
It's these little changes that the actual directors or creators do for adaptations and for any works because they think this isn't the actual creators anymore. This is mine, and I wanted to make it. I want to give it my vision, my creativity, and I want people to remember it for me and no one else.
Oh my god, I don't know why they decide to cast Jamie Lee Curtis because the character she's portraying as, she's supposed to be in her 30s. Jamie Lee Curtis is like what, in her 60s or 70s?
What are we talking about right now?
The Borderlands movie.
Oh, no, they wanted to age up Lilith for some reason.
But it doesn't make any sense because she's literally in her 30s.
It doesn't make any sense either. That fucking like apparently Tiny Tina.
Or hiring fucking Kevin Hart and fucking Jack Black. Like, we got an all-star cast, but yet it turns out to be an extremely shitty movie.
That's the thing. I'm getting tired of Jack Black being in everything. That man needs to stop. He is not. I can understand why people love Jack Black. He really has a bit of humor about him that can be kind of charming. The problem is,
Same thing with Kevin Hart.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, whenever you have actors that literally can only just play themselves, it starts losing a lot of its luster. It just becomes annoying. Again, like, people really like Steve Carell from 40-Year-Old Virgin, but whenever Steve Carell just continually plays Steve Carell in every movie he's ever in, then it becomes like really frustrating for his character because, like, oh, can you only be the annoying, quirky guy who's always awkward somehow?
Is Gru from Despicable Me the only exception, right?
No, because even then, like, he's still technically Steve Carell just doing a bad German accent. What is that? I think he's German. A bad European accent. I'm just gonna say that. But anyways, no. Go ahead.
I like Minions. I'm saying I love Minions.
I will not. I will lie. I won't lie. I think Minions is a bad film. A lot of it doesn't make sense. Yeah. But I enjoy the fuck out of Minions. I fuck with Minions.
I don't. No, I'm not saying the movie. I'm talking about like the Minions themselves.
Oh no, I hate the Minions themselves. I like the Minions movie.
But I always thought it'd be funny for them to beef out each other with the rabbits from Rayman.
Oh god, we don't need fucking like two separate indestructible beings of retards.
But it was fun. I mean, because I remember I used to watch the Rabbit show.
I'm still so upset the fact that like Rayman 4 was supposed to happen, but then they transformed it into the fucking Raving Rabbit games.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah,
so
my dad used to watch the Rabbit show a lot because he would always find it extremely hilarious.
But anyways, continue on with this, right? So continue on with this. Like, so those are two problems I already have with the localization aspect in general when it comes to this kind of conversation topic. The last one that I really have a problem with, and this one isn't as bad, but it is something I'm always aware of, is the fact that when it comes to localization, right? These people truly are up their own ass. They cannot take any bit of criticism whatsoever. And you can say like, well, that's just a creative thing. I'm like, no, it's not. There are people in the actual industry who can hear criticism, who can take feedback and be like, I hear what you're saying. I'm going to disagree with you, but I hear what you're saying, and I'll take some things into account. No, the people who work in localization current today are people who just do not have the actual skin to take any actual bit of criticism you delve at them in any sense of the word. Look how often they bitch online about shit. And it's not just that. It's not the fact that these people are so thin-skinned that worked in the industry, but it's the fact that these people come into the industry with a specific ideology in mind. They go into the industry with a specific thought process that we are going to change everything to fit what we think is, again, look at where they did Yu Yu, right? So he brought in his own modern flair to it. Okay, how did he do that? He decided to add in things talking about like current dayism, language, and politics. Why? Why did he need to embed this into the actual game? And he's not the first one. There have been multiple people who have actually been doing this lately for localization. They've been embedding this shit into the actual verbiage of these characters. Characters who I would make arguments should not know any of this stuff or be talking in a specific way. Like Jello Apocalypse is probably one of the best examples. The YouTuber who like basically fucked with an entire series because he thought he could write it better than the original creator, because he thought the original creator was awful for like saying some of these things about from people from her 90s like manga series that she made.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, these people come into a series with a specific mindset, and that doesn't. When you start doing something like that, you have to check your bias at the door. I don't give a shit that I don't care if you're let's say right, you're the most avowed leftist there is, or you're the biggest, most conservative, right-leaning religious nut job there is. But if you go to work and you decide
basically a leftoid and a rightoid.
Right, but I'm saying, like, I don't care if that's how they act or that's how they think, but if they come in and they go to work and they just work with let's say I could be going to my work right now, right, and I could be sitting right next to two people with two completely different prevailing ideologies, but they don't tell me that. They keep their mouth shut and they do their fucking job. Why? Because that's their job, and they know for a fact they can't just be spewing this shit all the time. These people in the industry, though, because they have the kind of carte blanche to do as they please, because they feel they can, they don't really have that same mindset. It's not about the work. It's not about coming in there with like strong work ethics or even like hard work mentality. It's about I work in an industry.
Or try to be like a diverse, or because you're a minority and this and that.
Like again, like you don't need to embed your own characteristics or your own personality. I don't care if you relate to a character. I don't need to know like this character should be fitting more the character you want it to be. Like for instance, let's say they were taking like a Luffy from One Piece. Right, and they think like there's like this one, Luffy's a big popular icon of like anime. He's so big, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna let you take over like the animation and working on everything, right? And they're like, okay, cool, we're gonna make Luffy gay now.
You know what's funny? It reminds me, since you mentioned Luffy, it reminds me of the time where Hassan was like talking to some actual like terrorist, I think. He said something about Luffy of like
he was talking to an actual pirate, a Somalian pirate, and he brought up the fact that does he watch anime, and he's like yeah we fuck with anime, and he brings up like he basically was saying like if Luffy was real, he'd fucking like high five them and shit.
I thought it was just him being like a real life Luffy or some shit like that.
Yeah, that he thinks of him as Luffy, and like if he was real, he'd be like he's like a real life Luffy. I'm like, no, Luffy would not see him as the good guy in this scenario. Luffy hates people who like attack and smuggle shit. Like he would probably sink their ship.
Because at the same time, we're talking to terrorists at the same time, and not only that, but they say Luffy because I'm pretty sure because Luffy rhymes with Houthis.
No, I don't think that's as far as you think it goes. I think it's literally just because Luffy's a pirate.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think.
But anyway, so just kind of end this subject. I'm actually gonna be working on a video. I'm gonna be working on a pretty long one talking about this and why localizers themselves coming into the industries with kind of like a chip on their shoulder, and why they really shouldn't, and why you should hate more of them more in this day.
Exactly. It's just that, like we always say, we just don't. Everybody, including us, don't hate them enough.
So, anyways, moving on to the final subject of the night, and this is why I say like we don't have a lot of subjects for the night, but the actual subject we're going to be talking about probably going to take us as long.
But it was quite long. You were quite long.
So this one specifically is one that like Jesus Christ, really. What is it? Okay, so. Anime studio president flees after serious accusations. The president of the European animation studio ButaPro, who collaborated with projects like Bucci the Rock and a couple of Cuckoos, has just vanished from the internet after being accused of harassment towards a minor. The victim was published a 33-page document with compiling evidence. What was far as is the guy's name? Response: deleting his X account. The studio's co-CEO has already come forward made with a public apology and to distance himself from the damages that is done. Now, I don't think this guy was the president. I think this is where Anime Trends fucks up. I believe from what I was looking at it, he was actually... Go away.
A shitload of ads, man.
Yeah, that's why I hate coming to these websites now. There's just so many ads.
Why don't you use an ad blocker?
Yeah, so he was a producer. He wasn't the president. He was a co-owner and the producer. And the reason why I don't ad blocker anymore, because most websites that actually have like only video sharing and like things like that make it so this way their sites don't work unless you like pause your ad blocker.
Yeah, I hate dealing
Like I have two websites that I can't use if I have ad blocker on. They literally just break. Anyways, so anime producer Fudiko Atono Rosa, which goes by Far, because that's literally what his name abbreviates to, from Buta Production, accused of grooming a minor. So anime producer for the founder of Buta Productions, Far, also known as Far, has been accused of grooming a minor following the allegations made publicly by an artist known as Mariko on X, formerly known as Twitter. Why do you have to do that? We know that X used to be Twitter. You don't got to be doing that. On Sunday, May 3rd, Mariko posted a 33-page document containing her chat messages with Far. The chat messages detailed the intimate interactions with Far, and at the time, their very first meet when she was 14 and Rosa was 23. Now, I actually, before a stream, like 2 hours before stream, I went in and I read some of these chat messages. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to be showing these chat messages on here. This is staying closed.
It would be breaking YouTube's community guidelines.
I could, if I actually had the time, I would have censored some of them out. But I'm gonna tell you right now, some of the shit that was said, you should never, ever, ever say to a child.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's. If you say it like that.
Now
then
I can say this.
I'm pretty sure it was really that bad.
Okay, no, I'm being a bit facetious, but some of it's pretty bad. Some of it's really cringe. Like one thing he said that I can totally say is just really, really stupid and really cringy. And the fact that you said this tells me a lot about who you are as a person. He was telling her how much he wishes she would put a collar on him, and this way she could forcefully pull him down so he could do things to her.
A fetish thing, yeah, I know where this is going.
And that's like almost every line she shared. Now, here's the kicker though. I believe she's Italian. So a lot of the actual words that were said was translated. So what she did was she showed the original tweet that was done in their language, and then she would show the translation version underneath it. So it'd be the same like screenshot from her Discord, just having it translated with, I'm assuming, Discord's feature, maybe Google or something. So that's how she did it. She would show the original, then the translation version below it. And so sometimes the translation isn't one for one. The problem here is this, and this is why I brought up a slight defense, and now I'm going to immediately counter that defense. Okay? So the counter to that defense is yes. But sometimes, just because something isn't translated well, there is no context in the word that could make some of the things that were said good. Like if if the word was in another language, right? I'm gonna fuck you silly. And the translation, like let's say that was in Spanish, and then the translator is like beep 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 beep. Okay, we have the response, and it goes like I'm going to touch you all over, right? And then you look at that, and you're like, see, doesn't it look better? I'm like, no, because you're still saying that to a kid.
Yeah, I mean, you should never say anything inappropriate, and especially if it's like innuendo shit.
Not even just innuendo. And I don't care if you're like fucking with a kid. If you're like going like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna fuck you tonight. Something like you're being like cutesy or teasingly. I'm like, you would still get like if there's basically if you can't say it in public, don't say it. Don't even think it, man. But like again, that's what some of these people have done. And like again, some of the shit he was talking with her about. And again, they weren't just talking. Now see, here's the fuck thing. This is why they're saying it's grooming. Because she was admitting to loving him. She was saying in her texts that like she couldn't wait to be with him, that she's so excited, that she's dreaming of the day she gets to like jump into his arms and stuff. So she was totally fawning over this guy. And the message went back as far as like 20... God, I think it was like 2019, 2018. She's I think she's 23 now. No, she's 19 now. And she was 14 at that time. So 5 years ago. So yeah, this is happened like 2021, 2028, 2022. I mean, yeah, 2021, 2020. That's when this was happening. She's now 19. This is happening when she was 14. So that was 5 years back. And it's just crazy, dude. And this kind of goes back to what we had discussion with the manga author who came back into the industry under a different pen name, and the studio was like, "Yeah, we can have you work for us." It's just ridiculous, man. The fact that this happened again, like to this degree.
I can't believe we're talking about another moment with.
I might have to steal. I might have to steal Nicholas Diorio's ultimate rape review. I just love the Joe Rogan like but yeah, like it's crazy, and like I said, like some of the shit he was saying, like you should never, ever say, ever, dude. And again, he was 23, she was 14. But yeah, so some people are disappointed because kind of going back here we go. So as Chibi posts out, this is the actual messages from the actual studio. This is the official note on the, I believe, Japanese X account, and I believe this was made by their co-CEO. So to everyone who is looking forward to Kimi wa Tsunaga, we too learned that the terrible news regarding the appalling behavior of an individual just a few hours ago. We of course wish to distance ourselves from it as well. Our sincere sympathy and thoughts are with the victim. Such behavior does not deserve a platform. We're truly heartbroken that you had to go through this. None of the other people involved in the animation of Kimi no Subago were aware of this. The whole situation makes it difficult for us, as a lot of money, time, and effort have already been poured into the project. A project that was meant to be something big and go far beyond the scope of currently announced. Accordingly, we will need more time to discuss with all of the other people involved of how and whether we can continue with this project without ButaPro/FAR. And the reason why is because this company was working directly with the creators of Kimi no Rusho to create it. But because of this incident with FAR, they are now no longer working with ButaPro, the company that was basically going to, I'm assuming, translate the actual series. Because again, this is a European company.
Yeah. I mean, it's not English.
Yeah. So, Chibi writes here, the serial European-based studio, ButaPro Productions, was going to animate Kimi no... Yeah, they were going to animate it. And got outed as grooming a 14-year-old yesterday, and the official account for the anime posted this. The Yuri anime was supposed to release at the end of this month. So now this anime has to be pushed back to find a whole new studio to animate it because of this incident.
Yeah.
And like I said, and she came out, and people are like kind of like talking about like, well, why did you come out now? It's like, because if you actually read her dialogue, she actually did like this guy. Now you can say like, oh, she got jealous or mad because he wasn't like fucking with her anymore, and so she just released it. That doesn't matter though. Like I've seen some people try to make an argument. It's like, well, why didn't she come out with this earlier? I'm like, there's plenty of good reasons why. Like some people are hesitant at times to actually release sensitive information because, well, she's not exactly like saying like the most innocent stuff either. She's saying some pretty raunchy stuff back to him. Not only that, but she compiled 33 pages of pure Discord messages to do this. She probably took a while to compile it all together. Mm-hmm. So it's not something so easy. Like usually I'm not one to always go believe the victim, but at the same time, it's like sometimes when like it's a situation like this, you kind of have to like take it. Again, innocent till proven guilty. Innocent till proven guilty. However, the evidence is quite damning that I'm like, I need to see how you can actually somehow prove your innocence in this. Because again, you are saying some explicitly inappropriate stuff that should never be uttered to a minor. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Especially from an adult. Especially from someone like that's like 7 years their senior. But yeah, that's about it. This Bloom, he just says like, I fully support all victims and my heart is with them. I wish I could have done more and regret not taking more consideration actions. I have been around much and anyone. He's just basically someone that's part of the actual studio that will no longer be working on animating the actual series. Which is really funny because this actual studio was like talked kind of like big when they first started back up, and they're actually specifically speaking about like Anime Corner has had the opportunity to talk with producer Far about him and his fellow Bruno's new venture into anime productions. So this was talked about in 2024. And the company, the two of them, learned that they've been working together in the anime industry for 4 to 5 years now. They're helping overseas translations and generally production materials, communications between animators and producers. So this was a fairly new company that was started up not so long ago, and this scandal just hit them. Like the guy, his partner, the co-CEO, who we just read his post right here on, saying like he fully supports the victim and he can't believe this happened, and the one that also helped come up with the one that like we saw here, this one right here, he's coming out and saying this stuff, and that was the guy who was get the fuck out of my face, coming out with his friend who made this company, not but like 2-3 years ago. So if this controversy is hitting his company now, I can't imagine like this is gonna be a stain on their company now that's gonna hurt any future like endeavors.
Exactly.
Which really sucks because again, like this guy not only fucked over his friend who helped ran this company, who probably put in some of his own money to make this company work, but all the employees that work there, and they got a pretty decently sized anime who has a following. Again, say what you will about Yuri people, but like they fucking love their shit. It's like
super devoted. Like it's like an obsession, basically. A
but like
toxic obsession.
You saw the movie Field of Glory, right?
What movie?
Field of Glory, I believe it's called. Field of Glory.
Field of Glory. Nah. You're telling me so much movies I've never seen or heard before. I should see more movies.
Because this shit came out like in the 80s and 90s. I'm sorry that I'm old.
Well, not old. It's just that you're a millennial. You're not Gen X or a boomer.
I believe it's called Field of Glory. Oh, it's a game. No, what is the movie? If you build... Field of Dreams! That's what it's called. Field of Dreams. 1998. Yeah, it's a base...
Field of Dreams.
Yeah,
because
okay, I was going to say, it's basically like that old joke. It's if you build it, they will come. I don't remember how I was trying to fit that reference into this. I was trying to fit that. Now I'm confused. Fuck, I fucked myself. I hate you so goddamn much. Stupid advertisements. It's with the ads. Yeah, maybe I should just turn on ad block while I'm doing this shit. But the problem is now websites. Well, no, the problem is now websites that now they're the ones also that are like, oh, you can't look at our website unless you see our ads. Like I can't go to IGN. I can't go to IGN anymore for any of my videos unless I have ad blocker off because they specifically is like, oh, we see that you have ad blocker on. If you wish to continue reading our article, would you mind turning it off? And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, I feel your pain, Dula.
But yeah, so that's basically it. Not much else has come out about this story. It's fairly new. I don't know how this guy.
It's another instance of somebody big in a company or a creator doing things inappropriate with a minor.
It's just fucking crazy. The fact that, again, my biggest hang up about this isn't even just the fact that like he fucked over his friend, that he did this to a young minor, that he literally was grooming her, but the fact that like this was a new production company that just got on its feet. And, like, this guy was, like, helping... This guy was like, yeah, me and my friend are going to start this up. And he just, like, screwed... Everyone involved was hurt by this man. Completely.
Yeah. Just like how we were talking about that one person in that manga company. And that led to a lot of manga creators leaving.
Yeah. I hear the girl's doing fine. Like, she's kind of, like, you know, she's an artist, so she's been drawing. And she's, like, going to... I think she's going to college soon. So I wish the best for her.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this doesn't like hurt the company's reputation so bad because no one knew about it. So I'm hoping they can get back on their feet and maybe they can do more. If they do good stuff, right? Like if I don't know much about this production company, if they do good stuff, hopefully they continue doing good stuff. And the guy who fucking did this, I hope he burns in hell. That's about it.
Yep.
Like it's
Same.
fucking disgusting, dude.
Just like how it was when we were talking about that one person
For the manga.
in the cup. Yeah.
No, that guy specific.
like,
There's a
Colorado.
special place in hell for a man who literally got caught doing something so disgusting. Said, "I'll fix myself." Left, and then after like leaving, came back, worked for the same company, and then he got caught doing it, and then got caught by his peers of doing it.
And
Like
then
it's
and it just let a lot of manga creators sleeping. Because they don't tolerate that bullshit.
well, it's not even the fact that it's literally the fact that like if someone says like, oh, what about forgiving people in their action? I'm like, okay, but like if he truly felt like he needed to be redeemed or like he was looking for redemption, why did he have to hide under a different pen name to do it? It's like no, I get tired of these people who try to like defend actions that some people
or try at least do a pen name or like keeping it secretive just to do it, have another instance of that disgusting thing, do it again.
Yeah, no, it's just yeah.
Because they think they're trying to fool everybody, but they're not fooled.
Well, I mean, if it wasn't for someone coming out and figuring it out, then yeah, I would agree. But he got away with it for a good amount of years before they figured it out. So also,
Yeah, but still,
maybe it's because it's the design. But does this look like a tiny little fuck? Why am I forgetting her name?
setup.
No, brain. Remember her name? The pink rabbit,
Pippa.
Pippa. I forgot Pippa's name.
How did you? Oh, okay, never mind.
It kind of makes me think of a little nerdy Pippa.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's about it. That's all I got covering today. There was a couple of other anime stories, but some of them hadn't kind of like blown up to such a large degree that I was wanting to cover yet. So I want to see.
Or either that, or we just rather just wait it to see what really happened.
There is something I do want to talk to you guys about, and that's basically I've been wanting to show Brutal some of the old, really bad and cringy and terribly written video essays about anime that I've watched over the years, and just kind of showcase like how these fucking people like what their type of arguments are when it comes to it. Like there's one that's literally talking about there's one that's so funny. It's like this girl talking about how anime has a slavery problem.
Oh my god.
It is one of the funniest fucking things ever.
Yeah, we should definitely. Yeah, when Dula told me, I was like, yeah, we're definitely on board.
So
I'm definitely gonna get. I'll definitely will give a good chuckle.
So maybe once ever like we have more time, or maybe one Anime Mondays where we won't cover any news or drama, and we'll cover specifically like one of those people's videos. But yeah. So.
But there'll be times where I'll do it on my channel or on Dula's channel.
Yeah. So
I don't know. It just depends really on how we manage things, you know.
Also, I think my PC. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, my PC's been kind of. I've been overstating it with so much shit. So hopefully I can like.
Yeah.
I might need to restart my PC after this. I don't know yet. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna end it up there, guys. I thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the talks. Hope you guys enjoy Unite and everything. Brutal. Before we end off, is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, nothing. Of course,
You got nothing? Okay. Then I'll just say my phrase I say all the time. I don't care where you guys are in the world.
Heartbeat of America. That's today Chevrolet or Chevy truck. Okay,
There's a great
sorry,
Chevy Lake.
No. Today Chevy truck. Like the heartbeat is like the old tagline from.
Is the Chevy Lake where all the Chevys go to roam free and like drink from the watering hole?
No, I said the heartbeat of America.
Wait, is that how we drive our vehicles? The Chevys, like we actually have like a fucking cow ranch where we breed them on.
The truck? What the hell? But yeah, I'm sorry if I interrupted you, Dula.
No, you're fine. I was just saying, like, my old friend, I don't care where time it is in the ward for you guys. I don't care where you are in the ward. I want you guys always to have a good morning, a great afternoon, a beautiful evening, and a blessed night. Stay safe, everyone. Love y'all. Bye.
Hey, rock on. Rock on, motherfuckers.
The fuck?
shit.
Something. Okay, there it is.
Oh shit! I just noticed you changed.